number and all.
Forever.
Oh yeah, everything's already set up.
Uh,
Button. And it's already started. Oh wow. Okay, that's new. Doesn't even ask or confirm. It just kind of starts it.
how long was it started for?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
It just kind of just starts. Didn't know that was a thing.
oh boy. All right. Well, what's going on, everybody? It's the Almost in Full Color Conglomerate. I am joined by Plucka, Yellow Squirrel, and T the Best. Here with another gaming podcast for you all. Because it's late, let's just get right into it. So I was looking, and it seems that Resident Evil 7 and Destiny 2 allowed you to pay real money to kind of skip the grind nature of the game. So Destiny 2, you could pay money, I think it was $20. You skip like the whole Lightfall campaign. And Resident Evil 7, you can just pay money to upgrade your guns. Do you all feel like this, as it becomes more common, that games allow you to do it, does it kind of hurt the essence of games? Or do you feel like games are so grindy at this point, someone paying that money to save themselves time is something that you don't really see as like a evil per se?
Daria, you okay?
I'm doing great right now.
You look like you're like held captive or something. I just looked down at your I was like, what the heck's going on with Daria?
Not at all.
Like you're like out and hiding or something.
Not this time. Thought about it yesterday, but I decided not to hide today. But I'll let you all go first, though. Go right ahead.
I mean, I don't have no problem with it. Resident Evil 7 is a what?
I'm sorry, Resident Evil 4. Did I say 7? Resident Evil 4.
Oh, well, still, I mean, Resident Evil single player. So, I mean, if you want to pay money to upgrade all your guns or unlock all the guns or whatever, I mean, it really doesn't matter because it's a single player experience. I mean, the only time I would say that is can be deemed maybe shady, well, I guess shady, is if you are playing like PvP and you can pay money to, you know, get an advantage over everybody else who didn't pay. Other than that, it really doesn't matter. I mean, unless I guess you try to say that, well, they made, you know, the game way more grindy than the original Resident Evil 4 to get all the guns or level them all up, and then implemented this pay, I guess, to max out or pay to unlock guns early or something. Then yeah, I could, okay, then that's different. It'd be like, you know, that's kind of incentivizing you to pay. But as long as they didn't do that and they kept it pretty much the same from the original Resident Evil 4, and if you just want to unlock guns faster or level them up faster with real money, I mean, it's on you. Kind of like cosmetics or something. That's just your preference, and it really doesn't bother anybody else's play. So it's fine with me.
Yeah, I was about to say they've been doing this for a while. I'm kind of glad they kind of do the more single player. As long as it doesn't make it grindy, because I can't remember the Star Wars game that everyone fussed about, where like Darth Vader was like you had to play like thousands of hours.
Not Battlefield, Battlefront. That's it.
Yeah. You had to play like thousands and thousands of hours, or you could pay something like that. And obviously that guy
$20 to get him or something.
Yeah, so that got obviously bad reputation. They kind of learned from that. But like season passes, a lot of them you can pay to get to like level 100 now. So it's kind of normal mobile game. I'm kind of with Gaines as long as it's not like, oh yeah, like Resident Evil 4, you could play for 1,000 hours or pay $20 to get all the guns. So yeah, that's bad. But if it is just the same game and you want to skip, I think it's kind of crappy still, but it doesn't harm nobody. If you want to spend more money in it, go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine by me. It's not expecting anything multiplayer wise. So, I mean, I almost did it for Destiny, but I didn't feel like playing 3 characters, so I gave up and just played through my second one and gave up on the 3rd character.
Oh, you mean to skip the campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah, that literally stopped me from. I was like, going to think about doing Titan and a Warlock. But after I played like for the first time the campaign, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that 2 more times. Like it's just not happening.
Yeah, I know Zoe did it, and I was right behind him about to do it for my third character. But I was like, I'm only gonna play 2,
Yeah.
and I barely play 1 now, so I think it's fine. Damn it! Why do I keep clicking off?
I think it's weird to me. It's like, well, what was the? I get it in theory. It's like, you can't get like ultimate weapons and feel great, but then the game then feels easy or cake like. So to me, it's like, what's the point of buying the game just to? I personally like the, as they call it, the in Toxic World male power fantasy, but not like when you get the super guns and you get to feel like God in the game, or just go through and just destroy all content. It's like, oh, I got this really fly gun, and I remember what it was when I didn't have it. Now that I have it, it's just great. So I personally like the grind. I don't know why. Again, to me, it's just a weird thing. People spend their money on weird stuff. I spend my money on weird stuff, so I just find it weird. It's like, why are you going to buy a game just to then pay so that you don't experience the content of the game that you just paid for? It's just super weird to me.
Are you trying to tell me what to do with my game?
I find it weird. To me, it's like, I don't know, buying a piece of cake. Like buy a piece of cake and then paying someone else to eat it for you. It's like, I don't know why you bought the cake in the first place, but I mean, everyone has their thing, so just like in the weird department.
I feel like you're trying to tell me what to do with my game, Keith.
Oh no, I would never.
Can you run me $60?
Getting out of hand, if you ask me.
I think Keith need to run me $60
on his little pedestal there, looking down on everyone.
Speaking
of, like I said, as long as it's single player, right? It doesn't matter, because, like you said, you can be like, I don't understand why you would do it, but it doesn't affect your game at all. Like it didn't affect RE4 remake for you, so it doesn't matter. But if it did affect them, they changed it and made it more grindy to incentivize you, or kind of prod you to maybe go, maybe I do want that. Then that would be different, and I would be against it, but. As long as it's the same game and it's just, hey, you want to do that on your own, that's fine. I mean, cool. I too don't understand why you would do that, but maybe some people just want to play the upgraded graphics and better performance and kind of want to get a quick new game plus run of it instead of going through the whole thing.
Still waiting for my $60, by the way. I'll let you know. Just waiting. I'm not on my phone yet, so I'm just kind of waiting for it.
Wait, what?
I guess he's talking.
I'm waiting for the notification. I'm waiting for you to send me the $60.
I don't know why I'm sending you $60. I'm so confused.
You're telling me how to play Destiny. I need my $60 now.
If anything, you should be sending me the $60. I'll run it on your Titan or whatever's third. That would be, instead of paying Bungie, give me the money. I'll run that character. Games is turned into a box, but we press on. So, Boxy shall stay.
There we go.
You going to change the angles on y'all?
No,
get his better side.
Adapter thing decided to die. Now I have to set my camera up again on the fly. Thank you, Logitech.
We love you.
We're not
Logitech.
sponsored. We're not sponsored, so I'm gonna need y'all.
Logitech webcams are the worst. If they ever lose any connection, it's like, who are you? What is this? I've never seen this device before in my life.
And this is when we call our editor to cut the feed. That gains out for a little bit.
So CS:GO. Ooh.
Boop.
So CS:GO recently just posted that they made $100 million in microtransactions that were cosmetic based. So I don't even know what other microtransactions exist within CS:GO, but seems they had a great March with 100 mil. A lot of other markets have been looking at this and I guess trying to figure out a way to ensure this isn't predatory practices. So they feel like games that do have microtransactions should be rated infra mature or 18 plus. Do you guys think that's a good? I don't really know if I would call it a solution, but I mean, just to slap games with that aspect on there. Do you think that helps anything? Does nothing? Your thoughts?
Trash doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to do, to be honest. Like, you gonna put it on there, but people's at that age, if you're trying to like, I guess I feel like the age you're targeting, their parents are buying it for them anyway. And just because you put that on there, like, it doesn't hold the same effect as like blood or gore or nudity or something like that. That, you know, years ago, you know, was a big thing, you know, between parents and games, you know, what they wanted their kids to see or not see, or they wanted to be informed about what this game could include or does have, because they're not gamers. They don't really know what the game is about. It's just a quick way to kind of let them know, like, hey, do you want your kid exposed to this? It seems like, I mean, the majority of the time this happens, it's just like, it's like you already like gave your kid your credit card information and you put it on their system or something, and then they blow it up. So it's like, in a way, it's like you just need to be more strict with your credit card information, or do something where the only time you let your kid, like, you know, put any money on there is just strictly through gift cards, you know, PlayStation Network cards, or, you know, Xbox cards, whatever the Xbox ones are called now. And that's the only way you allow them to load currency onto their console and, you know, onto their account, and they can use that to their heart's content, you know, and you kind of monitor it that way. But I mean, they could add it on there and bump it up to 18, but I really don't see it, you know, changing anything.
Yeah, like Gain said, there's a lot of locks now, because you even got parental locks where you have to put a password, like to go to the store or anything like that, or to even try to purchase. So you could even do that way too. But yeah, it's mostly responsibility. Maybe being a little more explicit that there's microtransactions on the game might help, but no one reads that either. I mean, I don't even know if they check IDs for like mature games still anymore. I remember buying Grand Theft Auto, no checks and stuff like that. So it's almost like hey, if you actually care, you can read it, but no one really follows it. So I think even rating it would just do nothing. It's just teach a way to have parents more informed, I guess, to not bad practice like giving your kid a credit card.
There is no way it's gonna work. Nobody's gonna sit there and read the fine print of somebody being.
Maybe it's not meant to work. You ever think of that? Maybe it's not actually meant to stop it, but it's just meant to mitigate any chance of you having a lawsuit against them. Because
like
then they
can addiction papers out when you leave.
Yeah, or like when McDonald's had to put the damn coffee is like hot caution on their cups because the person spilt their own coffee on themselves and they burnt themselves, and they sued McDonald's because the coffee was apparently too hot. So they had to put that on there to, now they are absolved, I guess, of guilt if you spill your own coffee on yourself, because now there was a warning: coffee is hot on your cup. So maybe that's what it is. They can put, well, hey, there's microtransactions, you know, on the little rating or whatever, and we made it 18 only, so you had to buy the game and it was listed, so you agreed basically to any risk that could come about with microtransactions. That's probably more so why.
Your fault for not telling me my coffee was hot.
Well, apparently in the court of law that was true. They won. Or it got settled or whatever.
They brew it super duper hot. Like, you're not supposed to. I guess yes, but there is a certain temp. Actually, like, quick fact for anyone who goes to a coffee shop, you can ask them to brew it at, I believe it's 119 degrees or something like that. So you can drink it like right after you get it.
But like mine lukewarm, please.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what you ask. So you can drink it immediately as you get it, but you just gotta let them know.
I'm doing that now. If it doesn't work, I'm coming back for you.
Go and ask them; they'll do it.
A lot of work, but I'm still coming back after you if that doesn't work. We'll report back.
I feel like Terry's gonna tell me it didn't work the whole time it did.
We'll go to this.
But yeah, I don't know why they would do such things, but I think my stance on this channel is known, like, protect your pockets. If you don't want these microtransactions, then don't feed into them. Just stop doing it. And maybe gaming companies will be like, hey, they don't want this anymore. They'll find another way to get money from them.
So, yeah, I've learned.
No, I mean, if you post 100 million in the month of March alone, I don't even know what your year is like.
People can't stop doing that stuff. People tell you what they want, and then they turn around and they still support it with their money.
Don't forget the 1 year no one was going to buy Call of Duty.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like how like everybody was all up against PlayStation when they made the PlayStation 4, and it didn't support the PS3 or PS2 or PS1. Everybody bought the PS4. Then they complained about it again for the PS4 Pro. Guess what? Everybody bought it again. They complained about it again for the PS5. Guess what? They bought it like crazy.
You're complaining with the credit card out.
Yeah, exactly. You know who does all that stuff for you and does terrible in sales? Xbox. They give you literally everything people cry for, and they're like, nope, we're gonna buy this PlayStation. And that's why Sony will never give you backwards compatibility again, because it does not give them any incentive to, because you won't even buy the competitor who gives you apparently what you want. So that's why you'll never get it.
So we saw that E3 is canceled for this year. Saw all the bigwigs pulling out one by one, and kind of we knew that this was coming once we saw them pull out. There's a horrible joke in there somewhere. But
no,
it's
E3. Games has grown because he didn't say anything about the group chat either.
I didn't even smirk.
Not a single word. Continue.
No.
Is E3 dead, like, for good now? Do you think this is the final nail in the coffin of E3, or do you think it'll rise like a phoenix one day?
Like a phoenix in the fire.
Like a phoenix.
Can't be reborn if everyone pulled out.
That's true.
There was
can't make life pulling
Someone
out.
had it.
Yeah,
Someone had it. It'll make it.
Gotta stay in if you want to create life. So what I will say is, I always thought E3 was over anyway. I figured once COVID happened and, all the big time, obviously Microsoft, Nintendo, PlayStation, once they figured out, like, hey, we can just have a digital thing of our own, get the same amount of publicity, maybe more, who knows, and we don't have to go to E3. We don't have to go through all the logistical hassles of putting it together. Like, we can literally just record on our own time, get our stuff together, perfect it, edit it, do everything we need to do, and then we just pick a date and it streams to people. There won't be any hiccups, anything. There won't be any live presentations needed, nothing. It'll just be perfectly hammered out, and then we present it the way we want to. And when we hit stream, we know it's perfect outside of stream issues or something. But they have a chance, I guess, to come back, because you still have like the Summer Games Fest or whatever, and they've been showing up to those. I forgot who runs that, but maybe if they just are kind of a little more lenient and less demanding, I guess, on what they want. Because I guess they were telling, all the people they wanted these, like, I guess, kind of like demos and stuff to be ready for the games for people to play and for, like, media to play and stuff like that. And I guess that's when they were just like, you know what, we're just not coming this year. We're not going through all that, because why? Like, there's nothing really in it for us, and everything either comes out buggy now or is getting pushed back all the time. It seems like developers are already like pressed up against a wall to get their games out on time and to be good quality. They probably like, we don't have time to create some little custom demo to run at your thing. Like, we already are up against it. So maybe if they kind of change the criteria and they're just like, yo, give us anything, even if it's just like a little, kind of like a video to play or something that's pre-rendered, kind of pre-scripted, just something to show off or any type of trailer or something, maybe, they might start coming back or participating again.
Yeah, I was about to say, I agree with games with the COVID, but the thing he pointed out was the Summer Game Fest. I think that's what killed it because that started at COVID and it had a wide range and they started getting them closer and closer together. Like last year was like a week, but then when it first started, you remember it was like 2 months of just random schedules. But people just learned, hey, we can just be part of this Summer Game Fest, do our own recordings like Gaines mentioned, and just prepare our own special thing, not connect it to anyone. Why do I need to go to an event and prepare stuff and build all this expo, pay them to go there when I could just host a stream from my YouTube, like the Ubisoft one or something like that? So it's like, I think that Summer Game Fest just was like probably the same similar results and they were happy and just run their own shows because I know Nintendo's been kind of doing that anyways for a long time because weren't they like not really E3 but like at the same time?
They kind of pulled away
And
even
they would
before
take the
COVID.
Monday or the Tuesday, like
Yeah.
after E3, pretty much.
Yeah,
So,
do their little treehouse. That was like the Nintendo treehouse started.
And then like just the big announcements with the like Ubisoft and I think Sega was like announced then you heard that E3 was going away. So I don't think it's going to come back. If it does, it might be a different form or Summer Game Fest converts into something like that. But right now it just seems cost effective of hey, we just record a video, show you how we want to show and watch the live chat, see what people think.
E3 is more so just for like developers getting in front of content creators, pretty much. I don't think it was nice when they opened it up to the public and everything. It was pretty much a glorified like, yo, my name is such and such. I have this many followers. Let me get an extreme key for something, or give me money and I'll stream your game. I think that's eventually what it kind of ran into, and then of course everybody that was fans of video games were like, yo, I'm going to E3 just to get the experience. It did
Yeah.
its thing, and people
It
were
probably
like,
sucks for
just
small game developers though, like indie game developers, because that probably was a good
yeah, it was
area
good
for them to kind of
exposure.
latch on to the publicity. Like a lot of publicity obviously isn't there for them. I kind of liken it to your pro day in sports. Like if you have a big time quarterback at your school, tons of NFL scouts are going to be at your pro day to see him. But if you're a receiver for that team, you're also out there running routes for him. So by extension, you kind of get some looks too because they're like, "Whoa, that guy, he got good. You see that guy catching that ball? Who is that again? Lance? Lance? Who? Lance Reddick? That guy's pretty good. Where did that name come from?
I do not know.
I think there's a
I
guy
know
from Destiny.
That's
Is it?
ridiculous.
Lance Reddick is.
That's where Reddick came. I was looking for a last name, and that one would not leave my head. And I was, for some reason, was
Way
like,
to
"Don't."
depress this the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. That's why I was like, I kept not wanting to use Riddick, but that was the only name that kept in my head. So I apologize. That was not on purpose.
Yeah, no, it was great for indie developers, I think, or maybe it was. It depends. It depends on how finished their game was or how polished their.
Yeah, I think E3. Well, two ways I think it could come back. That would be nice. Either a, like Tara's saying, use the
Sounds like
content
the other.
creators, the Twitch content creators, and have them uh just showcase the game on their Twitch channel. And okay, hey, here's this new game from whomever they kind of already stream for that. Like if Sonic Fox would stream Mortal Kombat and show off like the new Mortal Kombat, if you will. So I think it could be cool if you kind of would then just kind of segue into Twitch, not really E3, but rebrand underneath that tree or whatever. Or just with cloud gaming, how much it's come along and all that, just have something and make it seem cool. Hey, we invite you to come and test this demo out that we have for Black Myth Wukong, and just have people sign up. Hey, if you want to play the E3 demo, come sign up and you get access to this demo via the cloud or whatever. You can play on the cloud. You kind of promote different things. That way, people aren't downloading to their consoles or their PCs and data mining it and coming with all these. Can you data mine the cloud really? I don't really know.
Don't you speak of the cloud? That's what you messed up on. You of all.
Exactly. I don't know if
very
anyone
I was
should
sensitive
data
confused this
mine.
whole time.
Yeah.
With Keith bringing up the cloud.
Yes.
Very
I don't know if
sensitive topic.
anyone could look into files
No,
that
you
exist
can't.
within there. Oh, okay. So I think that'd be perfect for people just to experience something, and E3 kind of be a little different and more about the expo portion of the 3Es. But I hope it comes back. Sad to see it go if it does go, but as mentioned by everybody, there are several different platforms in which things are showing off, and E3 is just kind of one of those things that seems to just be gone now. But Game Pass's $1 deal is gone. For those who didn't know about it, you could get Xbox Live Gold, have it, and you could stack up to what I stacked 3 years. I think you can stack up to 3 years, and then you can convert it over to Ultimate Game Pass for $1. That deal is gone now. And the question now is, with this Activision deal, they've got over their obstacles. It seems to be going through, and now Ubisoft's service. No one knows if it's coming to Game Pass, but that's the rumor that it'll get lumped into it. Do you think that's why that $1 deal is gone? And do you expect a price hike about to happen with Game Pass?
I wouldn't say a price hike. The big thing, I mean, at the same time, like even though they still have a Game Pass, and like you said, the Activision deal is pretty much like done at this point. Now that they kind of acquiesce to all the little demands. Seems like the CMA and I think the CMA and everybody else kind of is like on board with it now. I don't see them increasing the price. They might increase the price once they get a mass influx of subscribers. You really don't increase the price before you get the benefit of it. So in a way, once Activision goes through, once they bring all those games and stuff to Game Pass, and if that pushes a massive influx of Game Pass subscribers, then you might see increase in price because then people have already subscribed. Once someone already has subscribed, and you increase the price, it's a lot lower of a chance that they'll cancel. They'll complain. They might complain, but most people don't actually cancel when they complain. If they're already subscribed in and you're already hitting them every year or whatever your renewal period is, very rarely do people actually cancel. You have to like hike it a ton. Just ask Netflix. They've increased the price all the time. Most people who have Netflix kept their Netflix the entire time. They increased the price. Hulu, all that stuff. I'm one of the people who have Hulu, and they've increased their price multiple times. I've never canceled. So maybe after all that happens, they might increase the price, but I don't believe it has anything to do with because Ubisoft might get added. Ubisoft has been on like dang near everything. Ubisoft was part of Stadia. Ubisoft is part of, I believe you can connect it with GeForce Now. I think it has something to do with Luna. Like Ubisoft is like everywhere. And apparently they're just like floating in the wind right now, trying to get bought by somebody. So it was actually rumored that Microsoft were going to buy them, but they probably held off until they get this Activision thing done. Probably was like had all the horses in this race before they deal with little Ubisoft over there in the wind. But yeah, so maybe after all that happens and they finish their fight with Sony. It's funny, a little off topic. I wonder if because obviously they won, they're going to get Activision or whatever. Sony never signed that deal. So in a way, I don't even think that's going to be a stipulation when they approve it, saying that you have to still give Sony the 10-year deal. Like they might look at it as like, bro, y'all never signed it and that was on you. So like, what if it goes through and they're just like, yeah, no,
what Sony
we're not going to give you the deal anymore now because you never signed it and now it's approved. And we have no incentive to give you the deal outside of sales. Like obviously you can sales, but that would like really screw them at the end and be like, it's going to be on Nintendo. It's going to be everywhere else. It won't be there.
See, one thing Sony complained about in there, where they said when they like read the offer, it didn't say like it could be essentially the read between the lines is we could give you a subpar version of Call of Duty and have like the like cream of the crop version running on the Xbox to
Wait,
make
that's
PlayStation
because the
look
contract has
bad.
to be worded that way because they have no
I,
power over what kind of console you put out and what the specs will be. Basically, that way is to acquiesce to Nintendo and the Switch. Like, if
oh
they
yeah,
have to put it on the Switch, there's no way they can make it the same as the Xbox Series X one. It's just not possible, and they have no control over what kind of console you'll put out. So they gave everyone the same contract. Like, hey, we're going to give you, you'll get the same thing to the best of our ability. But if we can't make it because what you provide is not acceptable to run it, then that's on you. So I think
Switch can't handle it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. We can't give you the same game, but I think that's why it's worded as in basically, as long as it's possible, we'll do it. So, to me, you should be more worried about what happens when that 10 years is up, because they're only giving out 10-year deals. So, once the 10 years is up, they can always just say, "Never again. You'll never see this game again." So,
yeah.
Oh, on the dollar thing, I think that's just cutting off the old path because I know they were trying to get away from like the Xbox Gold kind of, and I think that's all that is. Is just stopping buying that slowly, just making it all Game Pass. I
yeah,
don't think it's too much like negative of them like increasing everything. I think it's just trying to fade out a lot of the old stuff they're kind of stuck with because I don't know how long if the 360 even has like you could still buy live for it. I know it still works on the old
yeah,
games, but I think that's why I was kept around. But they're probably trying to just fade it out.
yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think there's any other reason outside of that. They're probably like, well, we kind of did our thing now, so let's just keep going. People
It's
will
kind of
stick
like how
around.
Sony tried to phase out their regular PlayStation Plus thing when people were doing the same thing, changing it over to what was it, whatever their ultimate tier was.
If you had the streaming one, I forgot what it was called before the whole merge now, but that was a
Yeah, but I know
separate.
you could. Yeah, people was like doing the same thing Keith did, basically, to get so many years of it for a certain price, and then they were just like, "No, you're not doing that anymore." So maybe it's kind of the same thing.
New game alert for Roger. Roger is going to love this, unless he's already seen it. He may have already seen it, but with the success of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, good God, somebody help me with the tagline for it. Shredder's Revenge. Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
With the success of that, they've announced another game that they've had secretly in the works, which still is untitled. However, they have released what it will be based off of, and it will be based off of the Last Ronin series. I will not specify
Oh,
any. I'm not gonna say any more because when they
I did not know
released it,
this.
they posted a part of the Last Ronin series, which is a super spoiler. And so many people are so upset who haven't, I guess, caught up with the Last Ronin series. So if you have not read it, the Last Ronin series for Ninja Turtles is really, really good. It is definitely one of the better alternate timelines, if you will. But it's going to be made. It's going to be a triple A title. No one knows who the dev team is yet. They said they're not announcing who that dev team is right now, but it will be a triple A title. So they said it's going to be a big budget game.
Team Ninja.
Do you all think that a triple A Ninja Turtle title will do crazy numbers, much like we've seen with like Hogwarts or other like kind of legacy IPs, or do you think it'll be moderate?
I think this will
Uh,
be good.
okay, Roger.
Yeah, I would say he called me out, so I figured I had to go first. I think it'd be good depending how they market because this is obviously probably more adult
Yes.
themed, so
Yes.
it's not Nickelodeon. Because I think that's what kills Ninja Turtles now is you're just with the Nickelodeon brand, so it's kind of kiddie. So if this can pick up the whole Ninja Turtle fan base and it shows the more extreme violent side, I think that would help a lot. And you already know the a lot of people know that character, so it's not like you're learning a whole new IP. So I think it could do really well. And if people learned that the story was actually pretty good, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Roger, but I just feel like in a way, I guess it would be a trade off. Maybe you might actually pick up a little more people than what you would lose, because like you said, obviously it's Turtles, so Turtles is always kid friendly. I mean, we grew up on it. We were kids, that's kind of when it like started. But you would get a lot of us who are older now who like more mature content and things like that. And I would say we're probably more of the hardcore Turtle fans. But then you'd also lose out on the kids that you've kind of tried to bring into the whole Turtles brand as well, because they're probably not going to play it. Or maybe their parents wouldn't want them to play it. And then again, you got to worry about the Turtles license being used like that. You know how certain, especially with like Nintendo, like you're not just going to get a character of theirs and just have them out there just murdering people. They're not letting that happen, but it'd be cool. Like I was joking with Team Ninja, but based on how the last Ronin is, it'd be cool to see it in like a Ninja Gaiden, like off the Xbox 360, Xbox OG Xbox, Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360, to get it like kind of in that type of format with, that level of like gore and just action. It'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that what they would do, but I would like to see it go that route and obviously be really heavy on the storytelling and on the narrative, because a lot of people haven't read that comic, and aren't caught up on it. So you would really have to like kind of indoctrinate them from the beginning of like, what's going on, how this happened, and, all those type of things. But it could be really good though.
I have no comment on this matter.
I'm super excited. I think I've played several games recently, and I just hope that movement would feel like really good. Like, I guess there'd be a nice balance between movement, stealth, and I don't know what I'd expect, to be honest with you, from this. I just super excited.
Would
This
in
was
the beginning be a spoiler if we like, because people. I mean, I don't know how many people are actually going to see this, but I don't know how many people actually even know what the last Ronin comic is. Obviously, from the name, you should kind of.
Yeah, it implies.
Yeah. Does that spoil?
I mean,
Is that a spoiler? That's the beginning, pretty much.
Spoiler alert, you might want to skip ahead like 2 minutes.
That's not really a spoiler.
Also,
The
I
word
don't
last?
think I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think the little beginning explanation of it is, because that's just the setting it's in.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much just the one, one turtle left. His brothers have been displaced permanently.
Okay.
And he's out for vengeance. That always makes for great stories. Angry vengeance.
Yeah. That would be, I don't know, maybe some people might dislike it, but I think it would be nice to kind of, I guess, show that. Have the nice anime beginning, if you will. Everything's nice and everyone's having a good time, and then death. Then you're off on your journey. I know apparently a ton of people hate that format now with Last of Us 2 and several other games where they're like, oh, some people disliked it for Forspoken when Cade was killed, and they're like, oh, they just use death to make you
Forspoken. They just hated Forspoken. Poor game.
Yeah, but I quite enjoy that format, so I wouldn't mind that happening. But I'm very excited for the title, and I hope they unveil who the dev team is in the near future, at least.
Team Ninja.
I feel like that will give me more of an idea of what to expect. But that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Game recommendations. Still untitled segment. Terry, what do you got for us?
My game's not out yet, but it comes out next week. It's the Mega Man Legacy thing.
Who?
From the old Game Boy Advance. Can't remember the name of it. Hold on. The Mega Man Battle Network. That's what it was. They're releasing it on the Switch.
When does that come out? That come out next month?
next week.
Was it later this month? Oh, it's next week. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I think they're doing the first 10 games or first few games, and then they're really definitely that is my pickup. So I can stop collecting dust.
People go support this Mega Man title and then tell them you want Mega Man Legends 3
No,
or
no.
a remake of Mega Man Legends.
No.
One of the two.
Well, I mean, Mega Man Legends 3 is already a game, so it would have to be. You're asking for a remake of it?
We
Or then
want
remake the
Because Mega
first
Man Legends 3 is literally the adventures of, or
Trombone
misadventures
or-
of Trombone.
we want
So I guess
new,
how
new
much
Battle
you
Network.
feel like that was actually a game, or to actually feel like that was even Mega Man Legends 3. It's like called it, but it's really not. It's really not Mega Man Legends 3.
We want
To
a new
me,
Battle
anyway.
Network. Give us a new Battle Network game. Okay. We don't care about the rest. Just give us a new one. All right. If you don't know what it is, you can go watch the YouTube series. They actually uploaded like all the seasons on YouTube.
Ouch.
But new Battle Network.
Mine will be Figment 2. I think it's Figment 2 Creed Valley is what it's called. I don't know if they're actually still running the deal, but they were running a deal on Steam where if you got, you know how they do their little bundles or whatever, they actually were giving you Figment 2 and Figment 1 for less than what Figment 2 cost. I think you could get both of them for like $15, and Figment 2 by itself was like 20 or something like that. Very weird bundle deal, but I got it back then. I'm not sure. I play it through GeForce Now because my computer is terrible. So, but it's actually a really fun game. It's kind of like one of those like puzzle, like not really a platformer much, but mostly like a little top down like puzzle game. Little adventure or whatever. Kind of based around a little narrative. Basically, you're like inside the mind of this guy, and you are kind of killing pretty much like nightmares or whatever, and just like different thoughts and the way I guess you can see how it like interacts with his home life, with like his work life and his married life and with his kids and stuff like that. Kind of just allows you to battle all the stresses, I guess, that he's going through and kind of see things from different points of view, from people in his family and stuff like that. It's actually a pretty cool game. Not too much involved. Puzzles aren't crazy, but they do make you think a teeny bit, but not enough to make you put the game down. So yeah, if you like those type of games, Figment 2, it's pretty good.
I will go with good old Like a Dragon Inshin. That's a fun game. It's set back in the 1800s. Got a lot of characters that resemble a lot of the Yakuza characters, but they are completely different. Just happen to have the same character models. It's interesting. I wouldn't say it's like a must play if you never played Like a Dragon. It's fun if you are big into the Yakuza series. Um, it's a little better than 3 and 4. Those are like the bottom Yakuza games that everyone agrees is probably the worst. But they added new features, a lot of cool mini games, but the time frame could be a problem with some people just because it is the 1800s and it's a little hard on names of stuff. A lot of them have the old Japanese names, so hard to keep all that in your head. But overall, enjoying that. That's pretty fun game.
With all the rumors going on about Mortal Kombat 12 dropping this winter, I would suggest that you all play Mortal Kombat 9, mainly for the story aspects, as I'm pretty sure the online community is okay. You'll probably be playing the same people over and over again, but if you're not really adverse to that, then Mortal Kombat 9 is definitely the game I would recommend to you all. It is a little tricky to play on PlayStation, as it came on the PS3. So you have a PS3, very easy to get to. If you have a PS5, you'll need PlayStation Plus Premium, I believe, is the level that you would need to play Mortal Kombat 9 on PlayStation. If you have a Xbox, well, if you have the disc, you could play it on the 360, the Xbox One, or the Series if you have the physical disc version. If you do not, well then you can just go onto their little store and buy it. But Mortal Kombat 9 is the game that I would
Such an
recommend.
odd recommendation.
Mortal Kombat 9?
Yeah.
9 kind of re-kicked everything off. So they should start with 9. 9 is 1 through 4. I think it's the stories of 1 through 4.
I don't remember.
I would have to go back and ensure, but I
remember
believe
hearing about
9
the
is 1
reset.
through 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I've never really followed the story much of Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
I think because I got destroyed with that one that they had the crypt when they introduced the crypt, and yeah, it was like
I think
kind of like a was that 9? Where you had to like run around and like
yeah,
spend
run
the
around
money in there.
and yeah. Yeah, I
Oh
think that was
god,
9.
that
The
murdered
crypt.
me.
You gotta go with the little hammer and yeah.
Oh,
Well, you had
yeah,
to get the hammer and then yeah, you could break open certain areas to spend more money. It
so
was horrible.
grindy.
It was super grindy. Maybe
Games
the
will be
only
playing your
time I would.
recommendation now.
Yeah, then that's the key recommendation.
I said just
Lose your
play for
life
the
to.
story. Do not go into the crypt. Just play for the story. Best fighting game story. Well, the
You unlock,
implementation of telling the
but they
story.
made you unlock the fighters through the crypt.
It was some of their moves or the variants that you had to go
I
through
know,
the crypt to
yeah, I
get
know it
their
was like
stuff.
fatalities. I thought you unlocked people in the
And
crypt
then you
too.
got
Maybe not.
skins and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Fatalities. Well, the fatality to know the input, so you didn't have. You can go to the command list and look at the input. If you knew what it was, you didn't have to like. You could just put it in and it would work.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you wanted to have something tell you, you do hold R2 up, up, down, down, back, back, square, whatever. Then yeah. But that's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in to this late night podcast. This has been Keith, our Blink down there, Roger, Terry, the hooded man, and Gaines. As usual, peace, be easy, be blessed. Not too many people are going to know about that Blink one. Oh, you never know, Roger. You never know.
Might not know.
Maybe the Blink Squad might come in. Terry hashtag that in there.
Oh
People will
Lord.
be very upset.